Yeah. You ever do that, Reklss? You see somebody you know in public and you just don't feel like running into somebody, so you hide?
Constantly, but I always end up running into them. That's like last weekend. I went out, first night going out by myself, or even with some friends, because I'm always DJing, right? Everybody's saying hi to me, and I'm like, I'm just trying to have a drink tonight, man. I'm not trying to like say hi to everybody, you know.
Right.
I'm over it. There was a point last June when I couldn't walk down Elm Street without being noticed, and I'm like, I hate this.
No.
I'm not even popular, and I hate this. Because half the people that are like, oh, hi, Christian, I don't even know him. And I'm like, how do you know me? What drunk night did you meet me? Because
Wow.
I didn't meet you, or you met my alter ego.
Be humble, bro. Like, come on, these are your fans. They can
No,
go
I'm just
away
saying,
quick.
like, when I'm inebriated, I don't remember many people. So it's always bad. It's always a disaster.
Matt, if you get a fan that you don't know or recognize, you'll take the time to talk to him, right?
Yeah.
So, like, are you Matt Connarton? I love your show. Remember when so-and-so, like, will you give them the time and, like, ask them their name or whatever?
So I don't know why this is. It's happened to me, but when it happens to me, I've been lucky in that it'll be somebody like they're in a hurry. Like they'll be on their way somewhere and they'll sort of yell, "Hey Matt, love your show." But they're going somewhere or they're driving by in their car. I've had that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really I haven't had to deal with I'm just walking down the street and somebody stops and
when I was on tour, I went on tour with a wicked popular TikToker. Like, he would host meetups at like basketball courts, and like 70 people would come and hang out with him. And it was weird because we were sitting in the middle of nowhere, Colorado. It was Evergreen, Colorado, right by Red Rocks. And we're sitting there, we're eating, and all the teenagers in the restaurant recognized this kid. And he had never run into something like that when people are coming up during lunch while we're trying to eat to get photos with him.
Yeah.
He's super popular then?
He is. He has almost 2 million.
Wow, that's pretty good.
2 million
TikTok
on TikTok?
A lot.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going back out on tour with him in December, so.
Now, where are you going this time on the tour?
We got I'm going on tour with Sammy Adams and Danny G. I think it's Columbus. I think I'm on the Columbus show, Philadelphia, Nashville, and Boston show.
Oh, very good.
Nice little short run.
Yeah. Excellent.
4 days.
Excellent. Gonzo, you should go on tour.
Well,
Do like art shows.
last weekend at the Citywide Art Show, I had a booth, right?
Oh,
and there's
yes.
nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So, like you said, you got lucky they were like in a rush.
Yeah.
No. They came and they, wanted to talk. And you're in a booth at a table.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do anything but to give them the time of day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, which is like why I asked you like how you handled it, because like I find it actually goes quicker if you're kind of just like, oh, hey, what's your name? Da, da, da.
Like, you don't want to have a whole conversation. I get what you're saying, in a way.
Well, yeah,
I run into it.
So when you said like it was annoying walking down the street in June when you couldn't recognize the people, but it'd probably be more annoying if nobody said hi to you next June. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean?
So the way I look at it is like, hey man, thanks for coming. It's awesome. I'll give you some time, And
yeah, of course, and I always will. Except when I'm DJing and you come up to me while I'm DJing and you're trying to have a whole conversation. Like, don't do that.
That's annoying.
Don't do that.
Right. If you're working, like.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people try to do that. And I'm like, yo.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I've seen it.
Right. I mean, I guess, I kind of did. I kind of did it to you at the Pride thing. I went with my wife and kids to the Pride Festival.
The Pride Festival?
And I saw you DJing, and I was like, kind of just standing there, waiting for like, all I wanted was a look and just give it a shout out.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, my wife's like, "How long are you gonna stare at him?"
I'm gonna be real with you, Gonzo.
I'm like, I'm like, you're absolutely right. And there's wrestling down the road.
Oh,
so.
okay. So I wasn't wrestling because I wrestled that day too.
No, you were doing your thing.
I was
you were doing
DJing.
your-
Yeah. No, that was a. Honestly, if you had just come up to me that day, I wouldn't have cared because you saw where I was. I was in the back corner of the festival.
Right.
Nobody was
No,
around.
but I caught myself kind of like just waiting for the eye contact to say what's up.
Yeah.
And or like when I come down from the 4th floor from the TV.
Yeah.
And I have no intention of coming on the radio, but I just kind of like stand at the window and wait for you to look up. And I like find myself there for like 45 seconds. I'm like, okay, time to go.
Yeah.
A little weird.
It's not looking up. Or he sees me and it's waiting for me to leave.
Well, there's a certain individual who we don't talk about or acknowledge anymore who used to, and I'm sure we've talked about this, who used to occasionally appear outside that door and just linger outside that door.
Have I had conversations with this individual?
Oh yeah, it's,
Okay.
we all know. Yeah, you know who I'm talking
Yep,
about,
now I do.
but we just don't mention him by name. But yeah, he would stand like just linger, like and not even be looking in like he wanted to come in, but just kind of lingering,
Pacing.
in front of the door and looking down at his phone, and then kind of looking up and looking in, and then looking down at his phone. Is like,
Oh, hey, yeah, hey.
like what is it? Yeah,
What was he
like,
saying? He's like, hey.
it was.
Hey, come on in. Sit on the couch.
Yeah,
Maybe. Okay. That's funny.
right.
I mean, there's been a few instances where people have showed up for sure and gotten that walk the shame on out because if you give in then everyone's gonna do it.
Yep.
Everyone's gonna pop in.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't come into your show without talking to you first. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you always ask ahead of time. Yeah.
I can't believe that people will do that. Actually,
Although I have to tell you, I would prefer, and I'm kind of thinking about somebody specific. If someone's going to either just walk in unannounced or stand in. So for people who don't know, of course, and how would you know? So our door here to the station, there's a glass window, and with the logo to the station on it, but so you can see through the glass who's outside the door. I would prefer somebody just pop in than do what sometimes people will do when they'll stand in the door and look in the window and wait for me to wave them in.
yeah.
That is actually that's much more awkward to me than somebody just walking in, because when they do that, then it's like if I'm in the middle of something and then it's like
It's lingering.
and then it's like I got to stop and say, and wave them in, or or I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they have in mind. That I don't like. I'd rather somebody, if somebody's going to do that, especially if it's someone who I've said to, hey, just you're welcome anytime. Some people have carte blanche. I tell them,
Right.
You're welcome anytime. And when they're standing in the door, it's like, just come in.
So when you say that, because you said that to me, it still seems like you should still check in before.
Well, you're
because what if
For a
you had
while,
like a
that's what I was
band or
doing.
something? Sometimes you'll have a
Right.
band and there'll be 4 people here.
right.
Yeah, But I would look in there and see that. And
But you're very polite that way, which is awesome.
But
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably 10 people with that privilege. Would you say that you've given that?
Not even.
Not that many. It's been whittled down over the years. That list I keep in my
We've
head.
lost
It's
quite a
it's
few.
been whittled down. We've lost a few. Yeah.
Hopwood's on that list, right?
Hopwood's on that list.
All right, come on in. I told you,
he's-
man.
He's welcome.
I told him to just come in.
He's welcome anytime.
He's been lingering around the last hour.
Yeah, Texas Mike, he always asks ahead of time.
Glenn.
But
Glenn can pop in.
yeah, well, Glenn
He's
usually,
like a Thursday scheduled kind of pop in.
Glenn actually does ask ahead of time usually, unless he's got a bunch of Ukrainians with him and he just wants to wander in the middle of my show. That one, no,
Yeah.
but he did apologize for that.
Wait, I'm confused.
Yeah, he did that.
Never mind, guys.
Are you unconfused?
No, I'm not. I'm very much confused.
What are you confused about?
I think we had a miscommunication earlier because I was thinking the guy we're not talking about was Glenn.
Oh no, somebody else.
No.
Somebody with an alter ego.
Oh,
Yeah. That's the person who would linger in the hallway. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Looks like Woody from Toy Story.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
When Woody from Toy Story goes wrong.
But Eric Street says he saw you at the art festival. How did that go, by the way? The art festival, was it good?
Well, yeah, it was cool. It was just like I just felt like I was in a fishbowl, and I was like, I couldn't really get comfortable.
Yeah.
And I did it all wrong. I was late. My tent flew up in the air and like.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
I was gonna go down there.
And absolutely, it went up in the air. And
oh my god,
they had it in like the contract that you had to bring weights. It's mandatory, and
you didn't.
I'm like, whatever. And we're not even supposed to leave the booth, and I left the booth to go to my car. And I came back and I saw it up in the air, and I just almost got back in the car.
Oh my god, for real?
Wait, everything.
See you later.
Wait, so you went to your car?
Everyone's scrambling, picking my stuff up. It was a nightmare.
You went to your car. You come back, and your tent is blown away effectively, and people are trying to
up in the air.
Oh god!
Right in front of like the Palace Theater, and it landed in it went up instead of taking other people. I had a lady selling glass earrings and stuff right to my right, and then the left I had someone who set up. She makes prints of astronauts and stuff.
Yeah,
Karen, I know her.
Yeah, her, and she had a super setup. It's so professionally done, and it could have taken it all out.
Oh,
wow! Imagine that.
But it just went up in the air, and then everybody scrambled, and everyone came together and helped me, and I was just like, "Oh man!"
Oh wow!
And then I was late, and I just I didn't know what I was doing.
You for anything, Gonzo.
I went there. I just kind of wanted to show what I was doing, and then, people had to ask me how much is it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, ugh.
75,000.
I would do that just so they walked away sometimes.
Yeah.
Be like, more than you get. Just kidding. But as a joke.
How does that work?
No, I guess you're allowed to sell anything there,
Yeah, but I mean, how does it work as far as pricing? I'm curious now. We've never really.
I never even thought about that aspect when I went there. I just wanted people to see. I thought it was going to be an art show, so I show it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So when people were put off by me sounding kind of like a jerk, saying I'm not really selling anything. I'm just here to show it and be like, okay. And I'm like, well, and I'm just I just bury my head. I just wanted to be gone at that point. And then Carol came on Saturday, and she's like, everything's for sale. And I'm like, no, just stop, please, just please stop. And I was mortified, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it was so Sunday I had just had a different approach. I was just gonna go in there and try to have fun.
He doesn't show up Sunday.
Yeah.
I think I had a couple of Pinot Grigios before, in the morning, just to not have that anxiety, because I was oh gosh.
I've been there.
I don't want. I'll talk about art all day. Come in, come sit down and hang out, and let's talk art. But when it comes down how much is it? Now I'm look, anything over $60 might as well be $7,000 for some people. Because if you say $300, they're gonna be like, oh. But if you say $80, they're yeah, maybe. It's just I don't even want to talk about it because you're not buying it, bro. You're not gonna buy it.
Yeah, bro.
You're there because your kid had a thing at a fest at Veterans Park. You're popping in.
Yo, literally though.
You're walking through.
Yeah.
And you're asking
You're there
me
because you parked
how much
Veterans
this
Park parking
huge
garage.
painting is. It's you don't even have a proper vehicle to take this home.
Yeah.
It's a huge
I'm just not going to answer you.
It's a huge 20 by 10. They're like, yeah, I'll take it. What are you driving? Mazda.
It's 4
Mazda
feet.
4-door.
4 feet each way.
Yeah.
Big ones.
All right. I hope you're planning on putting that on your roof.
So I was there to kind of just oh, it's an art show. And there'll be other artists doing showing. But no, everyone had their keychains and their niches and
of course.
Everyone had that $20 price point, that hot button price point.
Yeah.
So they were killing it. I mean, they were killing it. The lady to my left, Karen, was killing it.
She's really really popular.
Yeah.
And then the lady on my right, killing it, just selling.
And then there's Gonzo.
And I'm just there, and I got like a nice spot because it was sponsored by the Ink Link, and it was like right up front.
Yeah.
And I'm like blowing my tent away. I'm like an embarrassment almost. And people from the radio are like, coming up and talking, and I'm like, and I'm trying to like paint as I'm talking, but you can't spray paint in that area.
Yeah.
You gas everyone out. So I'm like,
Gets them all.
I'm like, got my paint roller, and I'm just like playing with my mashed potatoes. Like just meatloaf, stupid meatloaf. Playing with it on my plate, and I'm just doing it, and I'm like counting down the time so I can just pack up and go. But I mean, for the most part, it was what I wanted. I mean,
Yeah.
like people were like either blown away or like offended.
Right.
There was no like average but there were people that were like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then there was people that are just like, I don't get it. But you can still smell it. Honey, come here, you can still smell it. It's like, yeah, I put a clear coat on, bro. Like, chill out.
It gets high.
Like, so like, I was there kind of just show it. I wasn't really there to sell it because I charged too much for that demographic.
Can I ask you something? How many times have you changed the barriers at 603 this year alone?
Probably 30.
Easily, bro. Every time I go there, it's something new, and I'm like...
Anytime I'm bored at night and the kids are in bed and...
It's the question for you.
My me time, I just go there, and usually it's to hang out with Kyle, too. Like, Kyle wants to get up, so we go and hang out.
Because I've seen you there like 3, 4 in the morning when I'm walking out of 603,
right,
going to Red Arrow or going home, and I've seen you out there, and I'm like, what? Why are you here? It is 3 a.m. in the morning.
Because it's like, it's a place to paint.
Yeah.
I don't really care who sees me. And there are people that literally alter their route to see what it looks like now. Yeah,
that is true. And I was talking to the owner because
oh god,
even he realized that you were changing, and he said, I told him not to change it. I said, listen.
Oh, he told me this too.
Yeah, and I said, listen. I said, listen.
I avoid him.
No, he's fine. He's chill now because I talked to him. I said, listen.
Thank you, Christian.
I said, first of all, nobody it looks good. Nobody's stressing over it. You're the only one stressing over it. It's a jersey barrier. Okay, it looks good. It gets people's attention sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, there are people that...
You're not paying him for it every time he does it.
No, it's not. But he's letting me do it, which is super cool.
He's
I like that. I mean, people do come by and they're like...
Can you spray paint the door next? I'm just kidding.
They're like, oh, but you can take the Cinco de Mayo decorations off the door.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, absolutely not. I like those there.
Well, that's always what I was going to say. I was always going to say that to Kevin. I'm like, Kevin, you have a problem with me painting the barriers, but you still have May 5th decorations up.
No. Those are down.
Are they down?
They're new. The things in the window are there for a reason.
Okay. I'm talking about the little flaggy banner.
Hey,
thing.
leave my flags alone, okay? I wanted to keep those up, and I convinced him to. Okay.
There's one guy that says I predict his future every time.
Oh, really?
So he's
I mean, Cinco de Mayo was quite the day because that big beer can and I almost got me beat up. Actually, it did get me beat up, but moving on.
Melanie said in the chat room regarding the art show, weird he didn't make any sales.
Wow, right?
Well, like I said,
took his biggest sales day and just blew it. I'm just kidding.
Like I said, if I wanted to make stickers and be a t-shirt artist, then I wouldn't even be an artist.
But with the artwork, it's because I was going to say you could take a pricing gun and just
put it this way.
He really just came for
put it this way.
Wow.
Nobody could touch me there.
Oh.
And I'm not just saying that.
I believe it. I believe you.
I was in a place. I just happened to be from Manchester, and that's why I was there.
Tom Blanchard says, Gonzo, seems like you missed a good opportunity to make some money.
Damn,
right.
Monzo, we're all just coming for you, man.
No, you're right. But again, like,
hey, you live and learn.
If I ever became a bumper sticker salesman, then I would just wipe the artist right off my title because I'm not there. I paint because I like to paint, and I'm not there to grind out $400.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I mean, but you should be making some type of a profit off your work.
I do. It's just not at a street fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's lined up with Comic-Con and education celebrations.
Yeah, the one I didn't get to DJ.
I appreciate the opportunity, and it was awesome. And I will end up getting sales out of it because the contacts I made, and
there you go.
You know, I talked to some really cool people, but I noticed that everyone there was selling like soap and heirloom tomatoes and t-shirts.
Farmers market.
But like stuff that's $20 to $30.
Yeah.
And they were killing it because people wanted to show support, and they were set up. They knew what they were doing, but
right.
But it also must have cost a lot to get that overhead too. Like to make prints and frame them and all that stuff. You got to put some money into it, and I was just like, here's what I made.
Jeff Nine says in the chat, I would like to know who alters their route to see the barriers with 4 question marks.
Many people, actually.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I will second that with him.
We just don't know.
There are a few
we just
that
don't
I
know.
know of.
We don't know individual names necessarily.
I know individual names, but I'm not going to bring them up.
Okay.
A lot of homeless people.
They're around anyway.
Yeah,
I wasn't going that route. I wasn't going that route. But
plus, I'm always good for a couple cigarettes,
Of course you are.
Oh, he's painting. I'll go hit him up for butts.
Does anyone
Sir, any spare change?
So when you go and do that at 3 a.m., does anyone ever harass you, or how does that, or do the police
Only Christian when he's drunk.
Yeah. Do the police ever pull up and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or they probably all know you by now, right?
By now, yeah, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
I actually end up talking to a lot of people. I was gonna write a book about, take pictures of what I did that day, show the pictures, and then kind of write about like the dialogue I have with these people because there's some interesting stories out there.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Sometimes cops will come and look. Be like, dude, I gotta see you. You're here all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you're not finished yet.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I get it. You change it.
Yeah.
So like one day, one barrier will be different, but like they'll kind of merge in like as a there's 4 barriers, so they kind of all merge together.
Yeah.
But I'll change like 2 at a time and kind of change the theme a little.
Yeah.
Change the direction and then kind of catch up with it on the other end.
Right.
One day I just did all 4. Kyle Clayton.
Oh, really?
I remember that.
Just because, why not? Because I can do that, and I can put my best friend's name out there and just add a joke, and it's hilarious that I get the chance to do that.
Yeah.
On Elm Street for 2 weeks.